Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. We're live for France against Iraq tonight here on That's Football. Another watch along, one of three, two of three actually tonight. That's what we're doing. So welcome everybody. Hope we're all doing very, very well. I certainly am, and very excited about the games that we've got for you tonight. I think tonight really is going to be about whether Kylian Mbappe can close in on, well, whether France can send a statement, but also whether Mbappe can close in on Messi, who has 5 goals in this Golden Boot race. Can anybody catch him? Incredible start, and I don't think it's going to stop whilst Argentina are in the tournament. I think he's going to keep scoring goals. So let us know your thoughts on that. As always, thank you very much. Let me just pull off that. Okay. Yeah, busy. But look, I've always said this about the World Cup. I'll pick and choose the games I'm going to do now that I've seen nearly everybody play. But there are certain games I want to do. I mean, look, to be honest, France-Iraq at 3 o'clock in the morning probably don't do it. But 10 o'clock on a Monday night, I could watch House of Dragon again, but I've already seen it, you know? I've seen Clarkson's Farm. So I'm watching this. And I think that the Mbappe hat-trick, as Muzz says, is probably the interesting thing here. And that would put... Look, I think this World Cup's been incredible. I think it's been absolutely incredible. I think there's so many things to it that are incredible. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Talking about incredible, take a look at this. The Desert Sand Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in new Desert Sand. Yes. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger because we're sponsored by Manscaped on the stream. They're getting in on the action. We've been supported by Manscaped for a while now, and we love them here on That's Football. And we've got an exclusive summer update for you. It might be hot in the UK. Well, this is even hotter. This is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in new Desert Sand. This special edition combines rugged style with precision performance, and I have this trimmer, and it's awesome. Next gen dual skin safe blade heads, 1 trimmer blade and 1 full blade. You can swap them over very easily. Switching between them is very easy. It comes in its own little box here with different oh, it fell out. That's how easy it is. You can pop that one on the top as well. Different ways of doing it. Lots of different lengths there. And it trims different lengths as well. You know, it's great. It's not indiscriminate in that sense as well. No matter what's going on down there, it will trim it. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Exactly. It's got a light on it. There we go. So when it's down there, it will light it all up. Carol, don't get excited by the noise. It's a trimmer. It's not for you. And exclusively to our That's Football community, you can get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in Desert Sand with an incredible 15% off. Plus free shipping with the code FOOTY at manscaped.com. That's football. Footy tournament. Footy's the word. That's your code. Join over 13 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in colourway Desert Sand while supplies last. Very nice colouring to it. And they also do loads of other stuff at Manscaped as well, and you can use that code on it as well, Footy. But this is their new product. And yeah, precision engineering for your family jewels. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. I tell you what, it's hot out there at the moment. You can literally cool yourself down with this. You know, think about it. It's like wearing a hat on your head when you're hot. It just removes a layer and makes you feel cooler. And that's the great idea. Check it out. As I say, it's got a travel lock on it as well. So if you double tap that, sorry, if I hold that down, sorry, I need to figure this out. I can't figure it out. It has got a travel lock on it. You lot will figure it out with the instructions. I can't remember how to do it. But the point is, I can't figure it out. So if I go on holiday and tap that, and I'm on the plane, but it's a trimmer. I don't know. I would not have one of them. It's a trimmer. It's a trimmer. I promise it's a trimmer. Yeah. It's Carol's, actually. It's not. It's hers. It's not mine. Anyway, it has got a travel lock on it. I just can't bloody remember how you do it. Done it. There we go. Oh, no, I haven't done it. I can't remember how to do it. It has got a travel lock in it. I just haven't got the instructions. I'm not taking that on holiday until I figure out how to use the travel lock. I'll never live it down with the lads. They'll be like, what are you bringing one of them for? Anyway, as I say, 15% off with the code footy. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. Thank you very much to Manscaped. Always a fun integration. I always enjoy it. Anyway, where are we? We're in Philadelphia. We're in Philadelphia tonight. There was talk of rain. There was talk of delays. There was talk of thunder. But we are starting at 10 here. Well, we haven't started at 10 actually, but we will be starting at around 10 o'clock here. Weather-wise, what's the weather in Philadelphia? I bet it's warmer here. The weather in Philadelphia is 27 degrees. Severe thunderstorm watch. The National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch 375 in effect till 9 p.m. this evening for the following areas in Delaware. Watching, so could get some thunderstorm. If we do, then they'll be off the pitch for half an hour. But it doesn't matter because we're doing the 1 a.m. game anyway. So if this runs over, it runs over. It's not the end of the world, really. That's the way I look at it. Do we give Iraq any hope? Keep the score down? Yeah, we're up and running anyway. Keep the score down. Thanks everybody who's watching on TikTok, by the way. I've neglected you for a moment. What do we think about Messi's performance as Josh? I mean, he's just an incredible player, isn't he? Look, I don't actually subscribe to the view that we need to revisit Ronaldo versus Messi. I mean, Ronaldo's 41. Messi's, what, 2-3 years younger? So, you know, I don't think what Messi's doing now comparable to Ronaldo really does impact massively that debate. I just enjoy Messi. And if Ronaldo scores a hat-trick in a later tournament, I'd enjoy him as well. Look, I'm one of the few people out there that actually enjoys them both. So, yeah, I just think, you know what, you know the refreshing thing about Messi for me is that, and I think a lot of people, if they admit it, are in the same position. Cross comes in from France there, is that I haven't really watched Messi play since the last World Cup. And in the last World Cup, I thought he was good. I thought he was good in Qatar, but I didn't think he was amazing. In this tournament, I think he's been amazing. And I haven't really watched him play for 4 years. So I think the impressive thing for me about Messi is that he's not just there to make the numbers up. He's still their best player. He's still their focal point. And I haven't watched him play for 4 years or 3.5 years. So I think that's been the impressive thing for me, is just how good he is. Do we give Iraq any chance? Oh, God, don't be yawning at 10 o'clock. I've got to stay up for another 5 hours. Oh, that's not a good sign. Don't normally do the first yawn till about halfway through the first half of the late game. Done it in the first 5 minutes of the second game. Anyhow, Norway beat Iraq 4-1. Do I give Iraq much hope? No. They did play a friendly against Spain before the World Cup and drew 1-1. I'm clutching. I'm clutching here. But no, I don't think they're going to do much for themselves here, to be honest with you. But look, who knows? Who knows? I mean, we're looking for France, aren't we? They are. I mean, they're higher than Ireland in the world rankings. They're just below Uzbekistan. But look, yeah, I don't really think we're going to see a shock here today, if I'm being honest. Yosh, thanks for the follow. And LM, thanks for the follow. Avram, let's put it this way. I'm definitely not going to be watching a 0-0. I don't do 0-0s anyway, and I'm not going to be watching a 0-0. And France are many people's favourites to win it. I'll tell you what, though. Watch Manu Kone in this game. Very, very good player. Tchouameni, I don't know whether Tchouameni's injured or not, but very good player. I guarantee people are going to be talking about signing Manu Kone. He's the player to watch. We did look at him last summer. He's a good player. He's in Italy at Roma. I think he's got the same agent as Mbermo as well. I mean, he'd come to Man United, definitely. Definitely would. But keep an eye on him. Number 6 for France. He's better than Baleba, yeah. He's better than Baleba because he actually does that role. Holding midfield. Simple. 5,000 watching already, by the way. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. Rito, Muzzy, and Via, thanks for your follows on TikTok. Either or, Bruno or Vitinha, says Carlos. I mean, I'd never get rid of Bruno, so I'd take Bruno over Vitinha. But if I was a neutral, I'd probably look at, you know, age and qualities and what I want in my team. But I'd still say Bruno. Second fucking yawn. This is a joke. What's going on here? I need to bloody wake up. I'm going to run a poll on that on YouTube, actually, even though it was a question on TikTok. Either or, Bruno or Vitinha. Why are you doing Norway-Senegal? It was one of those games that I looked at from the very start and said, I want to watch that game. Norway play France on Friday night, and there's a really interesting scenario where if France win this, which I'm sure they will do, and Norway beat Senegal, then Norway-France play each other on Friday night to top the group. And trust me, people who say there's no jeopardy, there's bloody jeopardy. You do want to finish top of your group. So that would be great. Of course, if Senegal beat Norway, then I don't think France can't finish top of the group. Although if Norway... What would happen if Norway beat Iraq? It would come down to goal difference, wouldn't it? But I tell you what, I do think that Senegal need to turn up tonight. And they're good enough to do it. I don't know why people are writing Senegal off. I thought they played well against France in the first half. France took them apart in the second half. It doesn't mean... I mean, what level are we setting up for Senegal then? You know, France battered them in the second half, but they went toe-to-toe with them in the first half. France have been in the last 2 World Cup finals. Are Senegal meant to be beating them? Oh, I tell you what, France were looking for a penalty there. I hope it's not a penalty. You don't want to be giving us penalty. I don't want to see penalties being given against minnows unless it's a proper penalty. Nice ball into Mbappe. They've changed their goalkeeper, Iraq. Offside Mbappe. Was he given the penalty now? No, they're giving a free kick. Corner. Corner Dembele. We haven't even seen a replay on whether it was a penalty for France, so they're not getting a penalty anyway. Have you paid any attention to Zidane Akbal? Interested to see how the lad is doing. He's doing okay. I mean, he's not going to be a player that leaves Man United and, you know, becomes Zinedine Zidane. It's a good cross. Keeper's very punchy, isn't he? Yeah, I don't rate this keeper much. George says, France have competent midfielders on the ball, but playmaker like Pedri, Rodri, Vitinha, Bruno to help. I'll tell you what, George, I don't know what anybody else thought. So, I mean, I am starting to get to that point because on Sunday the knockouts start. And knockout football's a bit different to group stage football. There is jeopardy in the group stage, setting yourself up for where you're going to be. Karambou was there. But I think if France played Spain, tight game, you know. Matthew says, did you see my super chat earlier? I haven't gone to the super chats yet, mate. I'm just getting my feet under the table. Rafi and Nate, thanks for your follows on TikToks. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube. Right, let me have a look at these. Daniel Thompson's done one. Will you be doing Norway and ordered one earlier? Says Matthew. We are doing Norway, yeah. I didn't know until now that the national anthem of France was Où are Cantona. Yeah, that's what they modelled it on. Ray says, bought a while ago, very happy with Manscaped. I do really like Manscaped. They're very good. I know I get them anyway, but they are good. If England get far in the World Cup and face Argentina in the semi-final, I'm sure Messi will create the hand of God on us and the ref will give it. Says Jamie. Oh, yeah, good. And a whole new generation can put up with what we had to put up with when we were kids. Is France a great team or Moment FC individuals, says Ray? Well, I don't think Deschamps is a great coach. I don't think France play good football. I think they are just a bunch of very good players who sort of... I very rarely see France play good football. Let's put it that way. Need Mbappe to score in 2 French first half goals, says Luke. Thank you very much. And have I done that one? Yeah, done that one. Thank you. Daniel says, hope everyone's well. Looking forward to both games and watch-alongs tonight. I'm a huge Ronaldo fan, but I'm also a Messi fan, so I just appreciate both. And I can't believe Rabiot still plays in the midfield. United was linked with him as well, says Benja. I think we've been linked to Rabiot for about 50 years. It's like Jonathan David. Dembele, Doué, Barcola, Mbappe, Elise, Cherki. Yeah, I mean, they've just got so many good players. Jamie and Chicken and Evan Ferren and Al Ada, thanks very much for your follows. I forgot where Norway. Oh, no, MetLife, New York or New Jersey. Actually, I get in trouble for that. Yeah, it's New Jersey. No one's have you noticed with this World Cup? Nobody's moaning about the crowds anymore. We are a society of miserable bastards, aren't we? I mean, we really are. We really do try and find something to moan about. Oh, there'll be you watch. Iraq, France. There'll be half empty stadiums. Yeah. Yeah, you could hear a pin drop. You really could. No, but I think the oh, have you seen Romano's Alvarez eyes? Real Madrid are currently not advancing or progressing in talks for Julian Alvarez. Barcelona remain keen on Alvarez and in direct daily contact, but the deal depends on Athletic decision, and Romano's done a couple of eyes on it. Alvarez will leave Atletico Madrid. I mean, if you're at Atletico Madrid and you've got Real Madrid and Barcelona after you, you're in a good position, aren't you? You must make a video on Messi's unbelievable form, says Hamza. I'm not really that type of content creator, you know. I leave that sort of stuff to Thogden, bless him. I don't do that type of content. I don't do the whole, oh, Messi will be trending at the moment. Quickly, let's do a video. This is in Philadelphia, I know, but the Norway game's in New York. Oh, good shot by Elise, good block. I tell you what, I'll give Iraq some credit. They are defending quite well at the moment. 58% went with Bruno and 42% went with Vitinha. Goal! There it is. And it's Mbappe. There it is, 1-0. I've absolutely done it again, haven't I? Second time this World Cup, I've jinxed someone. You know what? Iraq are actually doing quite well, you know. I've been quite impressed. Goal, Mbappe. There we go. And the race for the golden boot is going. I haven't seen. Look, they take so long to do the replay. There he is, edge of the box. Oh, keeper should save it. Keeper should save this. Watch. Yeah, it's right in the keeper. Let's have a look. Yeah, keeper should save that. Top keeper saves that. I'm sorry, I'll be absolutely honest. A top goalkeeper saves that. Emi Martinez catches it. Well, look, it's a democracy. Should the keeper save that? Because people are saying you're being too harsh. They've dropped the other keeper for this one. I personally think he gets a hand on it. I think he should. I think he definitely should. Look, I ain't knocking Mbappe. Mbappe's a fantastic player, and you know you could call it a bit of a sighter, really. He'd had one just before that. You know, have a shot against a goalkeeper like that. I mean, to be honest with you, Mbappe's world class, isn't he? He's going to think this goalkeeper's not that good. Every time I can, I'll shoot. Elise just tried one just before that and had it blocked. They obviously know the keeper's weak. Why not have a shot? But a decent goalkeeper saves that. That's why I say decent. I wouldn't expect Iraq's reserve goalkeeper to be decent. I wouldn't save that. I'm not saying I'd have saved it or you'd have saved it. I'm saying a decent keeper saves it. You know, a championship goalkeeper probably doesn't save it. I'm not being that harsh. I'm saying like a decent keeper would save that shot. You know, Pickford would save it. Emi Martinez would save it. Iraq's goalkeeper. Yeah, I'm certainly not having any of us would save it because it'd be too. He's hit it really hard. It probably would go through our fingers like a poppadom. But at this level, you've got to make those saves if you want to stay in a game like this. Anana keeping, says Nick. Yeah, I don't know. I think Anana might save that, you know. I don't think Anana's completely useless. You must... thank you very much anyway. Tobbams, thanks for the follow. Otim, thanks for the follow. Well, I think the interesting thing about this game now is how many goals Messi can get, Mbappe can get. He's on 3, Messi's on 5. Who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot? Let's have a minute on that, because as I was saying, like, there's just so... I know most people I speak to are loving this World Cup. Like, they're not got no problem with the kickoff times. They've got no problem with how big the tournament is. They've settled into it. The crowds are great. The stadiums are great. The officiating's great. And then on top of that, you've got this compelling... England have turned up to a World Cup playing well. Spain are growing into it. Argentina look good. France look good. You know, Germany look good. There's a few good teams who can win it. There's a few underdogs that are good. There's a golden boot race. How many times do we go to a World Cup and the big players don't start scoring goals? Like, there's so many aspects to this World Cup. But I do think Messi's going to be hard to stop. I mean, I trust Harry Kane. I think if you give chances to Haaland, he'll score. I think Mbappe will score a lot of goals as well. But I think when you look at Messi, and I've seen the first negative there, the timings are crap. We'll come back to that from T-Bez. I want to know what people like and don't like. Maverick says, hear me out on John McGinn on the Golden Boot. What about Sabari at Morocco as well? I don't know how many he's got. I think Mbappe will score a lot of goals in this tournament. Hopefully Harry Kane will. Maybe Sabari will. Maybe Haaland will. But having watched Argentina's both their games, it's how Messi pops up. Austria defended quite well. There wasn't loads of chances in the game. He scores one at the end, one in the first half, and he's got 2 goals. So I think Argentina, I can see Messi scoring every game. So I think he could post 10 goals. He will be hard to catch. Now, the interesting thing for Argentina is, will they go strong in their final game? Because I wouldn't use Harry Kane against Panama. But you could stat pad with some goals. I mean, Kane will want to play against Panama. You know, Harry Kane will want to play against Panama. And he missed a penalty as well, Messi as well, Killy. You're absolutely right. Going back to the kickoff times, look, first week I was on it, absolutely on it, and loved it. I think the volume of times I was staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning, I think I did it about 4 times. Oh, look at that. How can you not love this World Cup? Iconic. These pictures you'll be looking back at in 30 years. That's an iconic picture, that. Love that. Anyway, what I was saying is, I think with the kickoff times, I have been a little bit disappointed by those, in the sense that there's a, you know, Japan, didn't get to watch Japan, Tunisia. I would have watched that. Didn't watch Colombia's first game. Won't watch their second game. So I don't think I'll really get to watch Colombia properly until the knockouts. But it's a World Cup. It's a World Cup. That's the whole point. Look at the stadium. Look at the atmosphere. Look at the buzz. Not every tournament should be in Europe. I just think that with... and I agree with Darren, the midnights and the 1 a.m. kickoffs ain't a problem. It's the 4 or 5 a.m.s. But you just have to... It's a long World Cup. I think anybody who thought that they were going to watch every single game is probably going to come up short, because it's a long World Cup. You have got to take breathers. You have got to prioritise. My stance is, for the group stage, I'm going to pick and choose, because in the knockout stage, I'm not going to miss anything. I'm not missing a knockout game. Even the 4 o'clock one, I'm going to do it. I'm not missing a knockout game, because if I missed a classic knockout, I'd be pissed off. What a World Cup to watch with you guys. Messi, Mbappe, Kane, love from Norway. Let's beat Senegal. Yeah, we're looking forward to that, Tom. Thanks for being part of the community. Jinxie, it was Mbappe who scored. I just think this World Cup, you know what, and as well, as a man of age, I think so many things get hyped up as the greatest ever, and it very rarely is. I think when you genuinely witness greatness in real time, it's something to behold. And I think we might be witnessing one of the great World Cups. It's definitely Messi's last World Cup, and he's absolutely brilliant. Ronaldo's still here. Mbappe, Haaland, you know, there's a lot to appreciate about this World Cup. And I'm hoping it can keep delivering, because, to be fair, I thought Russia, the group stage, was amazing, and it fell off. So that can happen. You can have a really good group stage and a really shitty, boring knockout stage. So, sorry, Ded, I wasn't saying Ronaldo's still here in a derogatory way. I think that was taken derogatory. I didn't mean it in that way. Des, thanks for your follow. Apple, thanks for your follow on TikTok as well. Megan says it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Megan. Ivor says, what's your thoughts on Iraq's performance so far? I think it's a hydration break, so it's time for a stretch. I think it's as... it's probably to be expected, isn't it, really? I think it's difficult. It's very difficult. You know, they've got Norway, Senegal and France in their group, and they're all better, aren't they? Elder says, I think France will walk this World Cup easily. I hope not. 2 World Cup finals, 3 World Cup finals in a row. Also, they stole the design of Gold Devils on their shirt, so I really don't want them to win either, with the gold and the black and the blue. Is this an early hydration break? No, they're normally around 22 minutes. Both games been on the BBC today. So ITV later on. Probably get the chalkboard. Oh no, it's drafts now, isn't it? Tomorrow, it's England. You gotta hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you. Defend and attack. There's only one way to get them. Get round the back. Now catch me if you can, 'cause I'm an England man. And what you're looking at is a master plan. I'll stop. Hopefully we'll play well tomorrow night. Man United's first 5 games. Well, this is a World Cup watch along, but I will answer the question. First 5 games, 18 points. We're going to win every one. Trust me. Give me Barcola makes Gakpo look like Harvey Barnes, says Harry. Harvey Barnes is all right though, Harry. I think Harvey Barnes is a good, steady Premier League winger. T Potion says, is this the best World Cup ever so far in terms of the big guns actually showing up? I don't want to jinx it. I think it's got all the components. And look, the great thing about age is I've seen 10 World Cups. I genuinely think this could be the best World Cup in my life. And that should get you excited if you're in your 20s or you're a teenager or your 30s, because I genuinely think this could be the best World Cup of my life. And I didn't really think anything would top Italia 90 or even USA 94 was a good World Cup, or France 98. So it could be. It could be. I definitely agree with that comment from Torin. It's the best World Cup since 1998 easily. Yeah, because I think there's components to a World Cup. Stadia, atmosphere, performance, excitement. But don't sleep on the refereeing. Like, how many games have we had and how many games have really been boring? Imagine this World Cup being officiated like the Premier League last year. Don't sleep on that. Imagine this World Cup being officiated by the PGMOL last year. We'd have 2-minute corners. We'd have 1-minute throw-ins. Every little push would be a foul. We'd be stop-start. It would be shit boring. We'd be falling asleep at the 10 o'clock games, let alone the 4 o'clock in the morning games. Don't sleep on the fact that the officiating has made this World Cup so much better. Because the officiating in the Premier League last season was shit. I heard a great comment the other day, and it was this: Arsenal would not have won the league with this officiating. And I thought, well, you know, it's always Arsenal who get picked on. They're a very good team. But I think the comment actually meant the corners, the long throw-ins, the stop-start wouldn't happen. So I think the officiating has played a big part because of what we were subjected to in the Premier League last year, and it's not allowed. I mean, look, I didn't think that referee in the Argentina-Austria game was that good, but he only wasn't that good because he let things go. I mean, I never thought I'd say that. I watched the Premier League and I'm like, oh, look at them falling on the floor for a free kick. Here we go, and they'll have a bloody chat, and it's 2 minutes. People are genuinely getting fouled, and he's going play on. I mean, I'd rather that. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a referee that lets fouls go or a referee that gives every soft foul? I want the game to flow. I want them to let it go. I've just got to get used to it a little bit. So, you know what? I haven't actually heard enough of the mainstream talking about it. But everyone I talk to here or on the street about it is on it. What are your predictions for Germany, says Charles? They could have lost to Ivory Coast. And I think German fans know that. They could have lost to Ivory Coast. So you either take the positive that you beat them, which you do, and you know, you take the warning sign, or you ignore it and it could bite you later on in the tournament. I think with Germany, and again, I need to start researching and I'm going to do it this week, I need to start figuring out the sides of the draw. Because if Germany can avoid Argentina and France and Spain before the semi-finals, they should hit the semi-finals. I know they're not in England's pathway, but if Germany are going to catch a Spain or France in the quarter-final, that's probably where it ends for me. Prab says, what do you think about all the stadiums? Yeah, I'm very impressed with them. I mean, it's at the point with me where it's probably the first World Cup where I look at the game and then I look at where it's being played, and that is that's verification of loving the tournament, because you know, every game I look at, I do look at where it is, like obviously the next game's in New York. I think we're in Miami, aren't we, England? I'll tell you what, I'll look at half-time. I always do the schedule at half-time. Musician, thanks for the follow. Unk, thanks for the follow as well. Appreciate that. What did you think of South Africa 2010? I'm never the right person to ask about South Africa. A World Cup can be dictated. You know, you could have a stomach virus right now and not have fond memories of this World Cup. You know, your hamster could get run over and you won't have fond memories of this World Cup. So Iraq have got a corner. My assessment of the South African World Cup is definitely tainted, because I know some people said it was a good World Cup, but I don't look back on it with very fond memories, because it was the last World Cup where England sort of dictated my mood in a World Cup. So England was shit, and it just made me hate the whole World Cup. I wasn't interested, and I didn't appreciate it. But in 2014, England was shit, and I'd already checked out. I'd had enough of England, so I loved 2014, even though we were shit. But in 2010, it was England that sort of made me not like it. Corner to Iraq, terrible corner. Absolutely shit. I don't know. That's your moment and you do that. Nick P says, World Cups are so inspiring. I think if you're young, I remember after Mexico 86, I bought a book of capital cities and imagined travelling to places. I think Mexico 86 was probably a really good World Cup. I just have no memory of it at all. My only memory of it, well, I've just lied because I do have a memory of it. But not really a footballing memory. I think I was 6. Yeah, I was 6 in 1986, and I just remember lovely ball over the top. No, it's not going anywhere. I just remember there must have been a house party at my grandparents' house, because I remember being at their house and everyone was in the living room. They had quite a big living room, and hold on, good tackle. Yeah, they were all in the living room watching this Argentina-England game, and that's all I remember. And it seemed to go on for ages, but I didn't watch it. I think I went and played He-Man or something. So I don't remember. Anyway, long story short, I don't remember the Mexico World Cup, but I think I would have really enjoyed it if I did. From what I remember we had a video of it. A VHS video, and there was just bangers in it. Denmark, Russia, they just seemed to be loads of banging goals. These referees in the Premier League next season will be fire, says Tom. The PGMOL just need to copy it, and I think they'll be under a massive amount of pressure to do it. Imagine if the Premier League starts next year, and the first game of the season, Coventry Arsenal on Friday night. They're both doing long throw-ins for 2 minutes, and they're both taking 2 minutes to take a corner, and every little knock's a foul. People will be going mad. They've got to copy this. To be fair, the Bundesliga already does. The Champions League already does in a way. Harry says, if you could bring one retired player back to play in the England side, who would it be and why? Can't be a United player. Well, it wouldn't be Gerrard, because he didn't play particularly well for England. I think Gaza in his prime. Messi can definitely play another World Cup at this rate, says Sam. I don't think he will. I don't think Messi's bothered about playing till he's 45. I don't think Messi will. It doesn't strike me as the sort of person that's obsessed with just playing and playing and playing. I don't think Messi will. I think this will be it. I might be wrong. Mbappe scored for France. Baller. LMS Baller. Mexico 86 is my favourite. Do you have one? Says T-Potion. My favourite's Italia 90 because it was the first one. I just loved all the music. Funnily enough, Italia 90, atmosphere, stadia. It was great. And I was too young to appreciate the fact that the football probably wasn't that great. But I was captivated by it. In fact, somebody in the chat just said, what do you prefer? It was Alfie. He says, what do you prefer, the World Cup or the Euros? I can't understand anybody who'd prefer the Euros. I can't understand why you'd the World Cup. It's got Brazil in it. It's got Argentina in it. Definitely the World Cup. I was 8 in 86, just old enough to remember, says Nick. Yeah, I think if I'd have been... I think 6 was just a bit too young. I think if I had... I do remember... I do actually, 2 years older when I was 8, I do remember Euro 88. Not in great depth, but I do remember it. England was shit, and I remember watching... I think we were in Skegness at my grandparents' caravan. And in fact, it's mad. What you've just literally opened up a drawer that's been closed for years. We were in Skegness on the day that Holland played Russia in the Euro 88 final. And I remember it was a caravan park, and the caravans had like little gaps between them, and we were playing football in between them whilst they were watching it inside the caravan. T-Bed says the game must be crap. Mate, this game was never going to be that type of game. I think what we're watching here is how many goals Mbappe can get and how many goals France can get. So, you know, I don't think any of us we can't criticise the game. I don't think any of us expected it to be scintillating. Norway, Senegal, I'll put a little bit more pressure on it. This game, it's about how many goals France can get. Thank you very much for that. Smith says, I'm 24 from Ireland and I've never got to see Ireland in a World Cup, but 2010 was my first World Cup and I remember it's easily my favourite. See, my first 2 World Cups that I remember, in fact, my first 3 tournaments I remember, Ireland were in it. Euro 88, Italia 90, USA 94. When was the last World Cup they were in it? Was it 2002? See, you can talk about Italian football, but Irish football's fell off a cliff as well. Go on, Iraq. Push, push. Now, you've got to put the cross of your life in here, mate. Oh, he turned around. You've turned around. They won't let you back now. Messed it up. Oh, for fuck's sake. What an absolute waste of time. Iraq, get away. He's down the left-hand side. He turns around and goes back to the halfway line. Beware, people. This could be the first game that gets hit by thunder. It's raining now. We're bound to get it at some point. We will get weather problems in this World Cup. SoCal says, how do you feel about the hydration breaks? I don't massively mind them. It's the tactical stuff. It's the fact that the coach gets a couple of minutes to change it. Oh, here we go. Nice little ball. Nearly. Good defending. If you could bring one team to the Premier League, who would you bring in? Well, they'd get relegated straight away, just pasty, so they'd need to be good enough to stay in it. I'd like to see a return of Sheffield Wednesday. I've always said that. Basically, if we get any thunder, it's half an hour after that before they can come back on the pitch. But as you know, with thunder, that you don't just get one thunder strike, do you? Danny Boy, thanks for your follow. And Zach. Where do you think Alvarez will end up? Feels like Barcelona, doesn't it? I heard something about Rafinha going to Saudi. But yeah, it feels like he'll be going to. I feel like he'll go to. Well, Real Madrid still need to do this marquee signing. I mean, Perez has sort of backed himself into a corner. He's got to do the big marquee signing, hasn't he? Although there is talk of Elise. Costs a lot of money. There'll be no more hydration breaks because it's raining. I like that one. Kean says, "Are you prepared for the heat on Thursday, Mark?" I thought it started. It's already started, hasn't it? Let me have a look at what we've got to come. Oh no, Thursday is the hottest day, 39 degrees. 34 degrees tomorrow, 36 degrees on Wednesday, 39 degrees on Thursday, and 33 degrees on Friday, and then it goes down a lot then. Look at the rain. I reckon they'll just try and get to half time here. Tell you what, that could have been a red. Ref says calm down. It was Zidane Iqbal. It could have got a red for that. I think in the Premier League, that could have been a red. We're gonna get thunder here, surely. It's gone from hot and humid to pissing it down with rain. Walker says the next 2 games is crazy weather. I haven't looked at it for New York. France nearly score. New York. Oh, that's Tameside. New York. It's heavy showers. Oh no, there's thunder there as well. Oh, fucking hell. I tell you what, I'll be very honest. If it starts thundering in Norway, Senegal, I ain't staying up. I'll bin it off. I'll get real with you. Oh my God. What time are they kicking off? Mate, this don't look good. It kicks off at 8 PM. There's a 90% chance of rain and thunder. Do we even bother? I tell you what, that's the sort of thing where you say don't jinx this World Cup being the best ever, because if we start getting a load of games being impacted by rain and thunder, that will piss me off. Randy said, "What's so dangerous with thunder?" Someone want to tell him? No, there's no roof there either. Club World Cup again. What was that Club World Cup game that took about Chelsea's game? Had about 10 minutes left, didn't it? Well, fair play to Iraq. It's only 1-0, and it would have been 0-0 if they'd have had a decent keeper. Thunder. La 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 la. Does it affect the indoor games? A good question. I don't think so. I don't think if there's thunder and the roof's up, it's an issue, is it? Then again, you never know. Randy's getting an education. Vince, thanks for your follow. And Corbin as well. That Chelsea game had 2 minutes left, Mark. Yeah, and wasn't there a 3-hour gap? Thing is, though, in fairness, it doesn't matter whether there's 2 minutes left or 20 minutes left. You can't go, let's just play on, because if someone gets hit by thunder, it's not going to wash, is it? You know, Chelsea's fullback has just been hit by lightning. Well, there was only 2 minutes left. Thunder hasn't hit Philly yet. Philadelphia hasn't got a roof, has it? MetLife hasn't got a roof. Well, look, if we didn't have the threat of the thunder, it actually makes, I've got to be honest, it makes the game a little bit interesting when it's like this. Not on either stadium. Well, we'll keep an eye on the Norway game then, because I've been looking forward to that. But I'm not looking forward to staying up after 3 o'clock in the morning when I've got to get up at 7:30. I can do 4.5 hours sleep. I'm not doing anything less. Why should I? Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got nearly 10,000 people watching. Absolute legends on YouTube. I don't know how many we've got on TikTok, but I can find out. 5. I'm joking. Joking. $1.6 thousand. Thank you very much. What are you doing at half time? I'm going to go through. I want to try and figure out the group predictor of which side everybody will be on, because I know I did it. So thanks, Fennec. It's like thunder, lightning. The way you look at me's frightening. You better stop. You know what I often think as a established creative who can also write music? If you were writing songs in the 60s, 70s and 80s, it was a lot easier than it is now. I mean, imagine writing that song. It's like thunder. It's like lightning. The way you look at him is frightening. Yeah, the lyrics have never been wrote before, have they? It's harder to write music in 2026 because everyone's bloody wrote everything, haven't they? Agadoo, you know. What did you think of the Qatar World Cup? I didn't like the... there was 2 things I didn't like about it, actually. Not getting political. I'm not going to do that. The 2 things I didn't like about the Qatar World Cup: 1, all the stadiums you could walk to. It was like an Olympic village. They were all so close together. And 2, it was a Winter World Cup. So those 2 things were negatives. And as I said before, I think for a great World Cup, it's about ticking off lots of things. And at the moment, this one's doing it more than Qatar. But Qatar wasn't a bad World Cup. It just, there was a couple of things about it that I didn't like. I thought the final was amazing. But I just didn't like a Winter World Cup. Fine Margins, thanks for the follow. Lottie, thank you very much for the follow as well. Max too. Thanks everyone who's subscribing, by the way. Please do so through clicking subscribe on YouTube. We're on the road to 1.5 million. We're on 487 at the moment. They've only given 3 minutes at a time here. I wonder if that's because of the rain. So the players go in. And the question will be, will this rain turn into electricity, i.e. thunder? Because if it does, this game will not be finishing on time. I tell you what, I bet they won't be outside in the New York ITV Stadium either. The weather in New York is actually pretty good this week. It's just this one day. Lots of rain, lots of thunder, but rest of the week, you got 29, 29, 28, 29 degrees. So yeah, looking good. Stop the clock, Mark. Stop the clock. There we go. So 1-0 at half time. Mbappe scoring it. Obviously, to be fair, you look at those stats: 7 shots to 2, only 1 on target, 58%. Iraq haven't done that bad. When you look at it like that, they haven't done that bad. They've not been dominated, have they? They've done okay. And honestly, the keeper probably should have done a little bit better. So they've done all right. But look, are they going to equalise? Probably not. But they've done okay. I just want to have a quick look at... is that what I want to do? No, let me do this. Let me do this. Mute him. So I want to just spend a couple of minutes talking about the knockout stage, because a lot of people keep going, what's going to happen? Who's going to be on what side of the draw? So on my predictor, I've got Germany, France, Canada, the Netherlands, and let me just work through this. So I've got Germany, France, Canada, the Netherlands. There'll be more. Colombia, Spain, and Korea all on one side of the draw, which means Brazil, England, Argentina, Norway will be on the other side. So I think France, that means Germany must be on our side of the draw as well. Or have I got that? Did I say Germany already? Let me have a look. Brazil, Norway, Mexico, England. I've got last 16, Brazil and Norway, and Mexico and England in the last 16. I've got Spain, Colombia, Netherlands. Oh, Germany are on France's side. Yeah. So I've got... So basically, I'm not going to bore everybody anymore. I did a little bit of a World Cup predictor. And I've got Germany, Spain, and France, and the Netherlands all on one side of the draw. And Brazil, England, Argentina on the other. So that's worth bearing in mind. Obviously, it depends on them all finishing top of their group. Japan, I think I've got Japan on the top side of the draw. But thanks, Plant Man. It's not a ball. No, because I think a lot of people are talking about where can teams go, and it makes a difference because I think Germany plays. I might be right. I might be right with this. I think it's the bracket. Yeah. I think I'm right in saying Germany play France in the last 16. I think I'm right in saying that. But certainly if Germany are top, which they are, France are top, which it looks like they are, Spain are top, Netherlands, they're all on the top side of the draw. And then Argentina, England, Brazil are on the bottom side of the draw. So you wouldn't get an Argentina-Brazil final. You wouldn't get an England-Argentina final. You wouldn't get an England-Brazil final. But you could get Argentina-France again. You could get Argentina-Spain. You could get Brazil-Spain. You could get England-France. You could get England-Spain. So it's important to realise because it makes you start thinking. The game hasn't stopped. It's half-time at the moment. Yes, it's half-time. Saucy, thanks for the follow. And HCAFC as well. Appreciate you. What would England's route be? we don't know who will play in the round of 32 because it's impossible to tell, because it's all about third place teams, isn't it, and where they finish. It's impossible to know who England are going to play in the last 32 because it's a third place team. But I would say Mexico, last 16, Brazil, quarter-final, Argentina or Portugal. Portugal are on England's side of the group, by the way, because there is a Portugal-Argentina last quarter-final possible. Well, if Portugal finish top of their group, Portugal-Argentina can happen in the quarter-final. So I don't know which side USA are going in, by the way. I don't know whether USA are in the France-Spain side or the England-Argentina side. I don't know. If anyone knows that, let us know. I don't know, because I didn't spot where I'd put them. But yeah, Portugal, Argentina, England, Brazil are on one side if they all finish top, and Spain, France, Netherlands, and Germany are on the other if they finish top. Which is fair. There isn't an easy side, is there? Netherlands are good. Spain, France, Germany, and then Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, England. Personally, I think England are on the easier side. If that happens, I think Brazil, Argentina, and Portugal are not as good as Spain, France, Germany, and Netherlands. I'm not saying it's a massive thing, but I think marginally, I think Spain and France are more dangerous. So, yeah. Game has been postponed because of lightning, apparently. We may as well just chat. We may as well just chat for a little bit because I don't know whether this Norway-Senegal game is going to happen anyway, so we may as well just keep chatting for a bit. We needed the Hearts coach for United, not Carrick, says SXC. He's gone to Russia, hasn't he, now? Mitish says you missed my super chat. I don't think I have. I just haven't checked super chats for a while, mate. Chill out. If there's one thing from this World Cup I've said about people, stop doing super chats saying you missed my super chat, because most of the time I haven't. I just haven't read it instantaneously. I go back to them. Do you think if the USA implemented a pyramid and made grassroots more accessible, they could really compete? I'd have to know more about American football to know that, mate, because I don't know what they do. Mar says, sorry if you've spoken about this already, but what's your thoughts on the whole Portugal drama? I have spoken about it already. I think the drama is caused by Ronaldo fans. I don't think Ronaldo is causing the drama. I think when you've got Ronaldo fans attacking his teammates, there's something very wrong, isn't there? But I don't think it's Ronaldo's issue. What's your thoughts on Starmer's resignation, says Real Mr. Starmer? I mean, I don't do politics, mate, so you're asking me a question that I'm not going to answer. What I would say is that the UK has had too many prime ministers in the last 10 years. Did I just see Rennie Mullenstein on the Iraq bench? Don't know, but I suppose it's possible. We're going to win the World Cup. We don't like Germany, says Brandon. Did you hear Deitch said 4-4-2 is coming back into fashion? It's definitely not SXC. And Mitchell says, I know you're providing the news, but I'm tired of these clowns talking bullshit. We should be embarrassed if Spurs go for Tonali and Fernandes and we don't, says Mitesh. Well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens with the transfers. I mean, Chelsea haven't done anything yet. Arsenal haven't done anything yet. Liverpool obviously are trying, but haven't really done anything yet. Man City haven't really done anything yet. So there is a lot of transfer stuff to happen. I don't necessarily think the World Cup's slowing it down either. I just think it's, Dawood says, what's your thoughts on Doku leaving the World Cup? I spoke about this earlier on in the Argentina game. If a player wants to leave to watch the birth of their first child, then it's not an issue. If a player says, I don't really want to leave to watch the birth of my first child, it's not an issue. It's for the player to decide. You can't project an opinion on it. You can have an opinion, but there's no definitive. So I think if you say a player shouldn't leave, they should stay with the national team, and that player wants to leave, it's none of your bloody business. And I think if the player says, I'm not going to leave, and you think they should do, it's none of your business. It's a personal choice. And it should be respected. And I don't know why it would turn into such a big issue. I know players who've missed the birth of their child to play, And I know players that haven't. So I don't really see the issue. Brandon says players need to grow up only a bit of thunder. Well, it's a bit more than that, mate, isn't it? It's a massive legal claim if it goes wrong. Here in North Canada, we complain when it's 26 degrees, says Bran. They're under a 2% tornado risk, says Dreadnought. Why do Premier League teams never do great in Europe, says James. We've just won the Europa League, the Conference League, and got to the final of the Champions League. Boom! Prediction for Norway, Senegal. It might not kick off till 7 a.m. because it's going to be bloody pissing it down with rain. Yeah. Please exit and seek shelter. So they're telling fans to get out of the ground at the moment. First time this has happened. Very irritating. Can't do much about it. Could be hours. Could be hours. Don't know. Each thunder strike, the 30-minute resets too. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if this thunder goes on for 2 hours, this game won't kick off again until at least 1:30. So we could be sat here for bloody ages. I did warn people about, well, I didn't warn people. Everybody knew about this risk, and it is a risk. And the chances were it was going to happen at some point, and it could keep happening again and again and again. Constantine says, I'm 40 minutes from the stadium. There's no rain. Shodu says, usually in Pennsylvania, the lightning goes by quite quick. And Matt says, it's old news. The ground is now filling up again. There we go. We'll stick with it. I'm not going to end the stream at this point. Mark is the best on YouTube. It's where I learn, says SXC. You probably get a load of shit for that now. I feel Argentinian bias has spilled into this World Cup already, says Zuhair. New Camping Man says, I loved the 1990 Holland squad with Baston and Hullet. A matchup against Germany this tournament would be an absolute classic. And Norway has never lost to Brazil in World Cup, so definitely Norway-England if England make it, right? Says Nicole. I mean, look, if Norway play Brazil in the last 16, which is projected, then I wouldn't say Brazil definitely win. What you need to remember is, in most World Cups, a lot of teams go through in tight games. Look at Argentina against the Netherlands. It was tight. When Brazil won the World Cup in 1994, they knocked out the Netherlands. I think it was 3-2, and it was tight. And I can't remember who they played in the semi-final. It would have been Bulgaria or Sweden. I think it was Sweden. They won by 1 goal. So you'll have a chance in a knockout game. Levi Sports says, what do you think of this World Cup? Well, I have been asked this already, and as I've said, I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I think it's been fantastic. Mando, thanks for your for following us, and Millie love it as well, and Roku and Sabrina, thank you so much. Hannon says, what's going on? It's bad weather. Let me just have a look here because they'll have a live feed of this. There's nothing coming in on Norway-Senegal at the moment. The media inside the ground have just been informed that there will be an extra 15-minute delay to the start of the second half due to the weather on top of the 15 minutes at half-time. So, yeah, it's not going to be that long then. We'll probably be going again in about 15 minutes then, won't we? A little bit more. I don't know whether they've actually had any lightning, but at the moment they're staying 15 minutes from now. Rennie Mullenstein is there with Iraq because he's on my telly screen here. That's definitely Rennie Mullenstein. I don't know whether, is he the coach of Iraq? Maybe he's the coach of Iraq. He's the assistant coach of Iraq. Is the coach of Iraq Carlos Queiroz by any chance? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm right about this, but I've got France playing Japan in the round of 32. I've just gone back to my screen. I've got France playing Japan in the round of 32. Is that possible? Is it safe? Am I right? Would France play Japan in the round of 32? Have a look. Because that would be a stinker. That would be an absolute stinker. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on here. That can't be right. That can't be right. It is. It is. Hold on a minute. I think it is right. So let me look at this group stage here. So where is Sweden? Oh, no. No. That can't be right then. Because... Oh, no. Could be right. I'll tell you what I'm looking at the moment. So where are Germany? No, not Germany. Where are France? In their group at the moment. Spain, Austria looks like it's going to happen. United States are going to top their group. They're on the other. They're on the. So it says Brazil, Japan at the moment. So how does that work? Japan are second, and Brazil are top. Oh no, it would be Brazil, Japan. Top of Group C plays second in Group F. Fucking hell. That's tough. Yeah, that would be tough. So we're going to get very exciting. Let's put it that way. Somebody just said, match suspended due to weather. Please pin this. Yeah, mate, it's 30 minutes gone now. Now it's suspended completely. Oh, well. It stopped because of rain. And now it's been suspended. Oh, well. Why don't you do a new predictor with the current results, Mark, says JMR. I'm not going to do a new one until at least the end of game week 2, because you can start to. The problem is it's the third place thing. The third place thing messes everything up at the moment. What World Cup coach was the best player? Maybe Cannavaro. What World coach was the best player? Who does Cannavaro coach? I fancy an England versus Morocco final, says Say. Why is there no English on Peacock? It's only Spanish, says Salah. I think Hart might be onto something with the ball, says Hart. What did he say? Well, tell us. 1, I'm not listening to Joe Hart, and 2, I don't know what he said about the ball. Cannavaro is the manager of Uzbekistan. Imagine tomorrow. Do you think the keepers are struggling with... Oh, here we go. Harry said it. Harry says, do you think keepers are struggling with the flight of this ball, or is it literally the inability to be able to save these shots? I don't think... So if Joe Hart's saying that the Iraq goalkeeper is struggling with the flight of the ball there, I think, as Sorrow said, Joe Hart is clueless. I haven't played football, and Joe Hart has obviously played at a very high level as a goalkeeper, but I don't think his eyes are seeing something we're not seeing. We've seen it in real time. We've seen it in slow-mo. He gets a full hand on it and he doesn't save it. I don't think that's to do with the ball. I just think it's a skill issue. I look at that and Joe Hart would have saved it. A decent goalkeeper saves that shot. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's the ball. And if the ball is moving, a decent goalkeeper who gets a hand on it still saves it. I think the thing about goalkeeping is, it doesn't matter about the ball. If you get a hand on it, you save it. If you get a fingertip on it, fine. It's probably going to go in. But if you get your hand on it, you save it. And he didn't. Mark, assessing the World Cup so far, has some of your predictions changed? Who is your smoky at the moment, says Joe. I always said Japan, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I said Japan in my predictor, and I'm quite comfortable with that. The only thing I'm not comfortable with is that you can't control who gets who. Like I said, the Brazil group and the Netherlands group, they're really unlucky because if you're top, you play second, and if you're second, you play top. So Brazil could play Japan. And who else is in Brazil's group? Is there anyone good in Brazil's group? Oh, they've just done the round of 32 as it stands at the moment, but that's not right. We're not going to play Portugal. Don't worry about that. Brazil and Morocco, oh, fucking hell. I mean, you're damned if you... We're going to get 2 cracking round of 32 games. We're going to get Morocco, Netherlands and Brazil, Japan, or we're going to get Netherlands, Brazil and Morocco, Japan. I mean, it's mad. It's mad. It's just unlucky. It's really unlucky. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Gemini says cloudy at 8 for the Norway game, says Janus. And Mark is my football... SXC says, Mark is my footballing encyclopedia, the best. Are you concerned about Messi? Only Messi has scored for Argentina. No, I think they've got goals in them. I think it's a positive that Messi's scoring all the goals. This reminds me of the Euros 2024 weather, says Social Train. How do you feel about the stadium project being approved? I'm not talking about United, Spears. I know we've got half an hour, but people know why I don't want to talk about United. It changes my mood. They're an irritatingly run football club, and this is my escapism, so I'm not going to spend 50 minutes talking about that. What World Cup done that one as well. Thanks for the follows on TikTok, by the way. MK Trippin, thank you very much. I'm getting hot tonight, and it's going to worry me about the rest of the week, to be honest. But you know what? It is what it is. Nearly 10,000 people watching here. I think we're all in the same boat, aren't we? Where we're just waiting for the football to restart. I was hoping to get a little bit of a break between the Norway and Senegal game, but it looks like we're going to be going all the way through. So get your questions in. We've basically got an half an hour Q&A now, so get your questions in. The game has been suspended because of weather, and whether you know this or not, this happens quite a lot in America. There's a lot of thunder because there's a lot of heat and there's a lot of humidity, so they get a lot of thunder, and if you get thunder, you're not allowed to kick off for half an hour after the last bit of thunder. So basically, they've got to wait for the thunder to pass and then start half an hour from then. We did get the first half in, though, which is a positive, because if they'd walked off the pitch 5 minutes before half-time, they'd come back 5 minutes and then have half-time again. So at least that's a positive that they made it to half-time. Yeah, but we've got about half an hour more of this before we see what happens. Apparently it could be 50 minutes. Are you doing the Norway-Senegal game? Well, I'm planning to. We will see what happens with that, because apparently it is going to be rainy there too. New York weather, from what I'm looking at, in fact, don't trust that. New York is where Norway are playing Senegal, to be honest. Where's the best place to find New York weather? I was there. I've been to New York. I can't remember what I used to use for weather. Showers and a heavier thunderstorm this evening. Cloudy and humid, breezy this evening, followed by periods of rain. Gusty winds can accompany any downpour. Drizzle at the moment. And thunderstorm is predicted in the in that game as well. Philadelphia is not that far, is it? From Philadelphia close to New York. Geography lesson. We could do that for a little bit. Okay, Philadelphia is literally just down the road from New York. This is the problem then. Both games are close together. I say down the road, it's not like going from Liverpool to Manchester. I mean, I think a commute. Philadelphia to New York by car. Oh, 2 hours. It actually is literally down the road. With New York, it's hard to tell, actually, because you do think, oh, that probably takes about 9 hours, but 2 hours in the car. So they are very close together. So basically, they're both going to be hit by the same thing, aren't they? Yeah. Could have the same thing going on. Michael says, if they think the rain is bad, they've clearly never played at the Thunderdome. You know what? I genuinely just will spend 30 seconds on that just for nostalgia. I'll never replicate that career mode again, and it makes me sad. We had a career mode on FIFA where I created my own team and we had our own stadium, and it was called the Thunderdome. And we started off in the Championship, and I think we went to the very top. I think we did win the league. We had these players that were made up, like Blake Kent and Bird and Proctor the Doctor on the wing. It was an amazing career mode, TUSFC. And we tried to replicate it, and you just can't. It was of its time. It was brilliant. You should do a Gold Devils Creator Club, says McFadden. Well, I don't know whether I'm doing... I can't speak. Yeah, I better not. No, I can't speak. Of course, we are in America, and everything is done in dramatic, epic, over-the-top style, says Ray. Thank you very much. Wheezy, thanks for your follow. Not sure if you've noticed, but France's run is tough potentially. They would play Paraguay, Germany, Netherlands, Spain to get to the final. Thoughts? Well, Paraguay is shit. Joe, I think that would be okay. But I think once you get to the last 16, you're going to get tough. I mean, look, England probably have Mexico in the Azteca at altitude. Mexico don't look that good to me, but England playing a competitive game in Mexico in what is effective a home game will be tough. Play GeoGuessr, Mark. No, not doing that, Fennec. Apparently thunderstorms last till 6:45. Which is... What's the time now? The time here is... I can't figure it out. 25 minutes is 6:45. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Name the 3 Premier League teams that have scored 9 goals. This is John. What? What the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. LFC Raven says, your English humour has got me through some hard times, Mark. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for being part of the community, pal. Have you ever played 38-0? No, I've seen bloody Garrett going on about it. He loves it, but I've never played it. He's got more time than me. Remember Leeds are the greatest in the land, says JB. He's pissed. Will the next game start later because of this, says Dylan. Replant says, can you pause the stream? I need to eat. Well, I was hoping to get an hour break between midnight and 1. I wasn't planning to go all the way through. The match is interrupted because of the rain, Jensen, and thunder. It should resume. I would say we'll resume around midnight, about 40 minutes, I would think, but we'll wait and see. Dylan, I don't know if the next game can start if this game... It makes a good point. If the France game is going to go past 1 a.m. UK time, do they wait in New York? I don't think they do they? I think they just carry on. I think so. Which team would be most difficult for England in the knockouts, says Tamid. None of them. It's coming home. The team I would like... I tell you what, actually, the team I would love to avoid is Spain and France. They're the only two. Because they're the last two teams to knock us out of tournaments, aren't they? France in the World Cup and Spain beat us in the final. So France and Spain are the two I'd love to get knocked out before we play them. I've been following you since 2017, mainly for the Koulibaly song. I need to do another one then, Zuhar. If I get followers from writing songs, pass me the guitar. He went home to get it. Will you do a guest appearance on Football Fill-In, says Jack? If they want to fly me over to New York, I'll do it. If they want me to go down to Leamington Spa, they can piss off. Do you think Dickford is the main problem at the back? This is amazing. There's probably... I don't worry about England's goalkeeper anymore because for a long time, Pickford, I think, is not good enough. But ultimately, who's better than him? I don't think there's a big upgrade anyway. Is George Sanchez worth $7 million a week? If you know, you know. Just pasty. If you know, you know. Have you ever been to Jim Khana in London? It's the best Indian food ever, says Viv. Well, I haven't, but good shout out. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You're passing the time with all your comments, both super chats and non. Mark and D on TikTok, thanks for the follow. If you are tuning in on YouTube, by the way, we've still got nearly 10,000 watching. We're having a bit of a chat whilst we're waiting for the France game to dry out or whatever. Please click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're trying to get up to 488,000 on the road to 1.5 million. We're only 300 away, so there might be 300 of you that haven't subscribed. So please click and subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content normally anyway about football topics, transfer news, etc. About all sorts of clubs, so everyone's welcome. Obviously, during the World Cup, loads of watch-alongs, which reminds me, let's have a quick look at the calendar. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mix it up on the calendar because I always at half-time I talk about what games we're doing over the coming days, but I'm going to go into next week for the round of 32, so you have an idea of what's coming up. So. Next few games, and I'll tell you what we're doing. Norway, Senegal, 1 o'clock in the morning. The plan is to do it. Jordan, Algeria, 4 a.m. No. Tomorrow night, Portugal, Uzbekistan, 6 p.m. Yes. England, Ghana, 9 p.m. No. Yes. Oh, God. Imagine that. No, I'm not doing it. Fuck England. No, we are doing that. Panama, Croatia, midnight tomorrow, no. Colombia, Congo, 3 a.m. Regrettably, no. I would like to watch Colombia. They keep getting ridiculous kickoff times, so I won't be doing that. Wednesday night is when the group stage goes into the final game, so they both kick off at the same time. So Switzerland, Canada, and Bosnia, Qatar kick off at the same time. We will do a watch-along for that. Morocco, Haiti, Scotland, Brazil, 11 p.m. We will do a watch-along for that. 2 a.m. Mexico, Czech Republic, South Korea, South Africa. No, not going to do that because Mexico are already top. On the evening of Thursday, Ecuador, Germany, Ivory Coast, Curacao. We will do that. Midnight on Thursday, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia, Netherlands. Definitely doing that. Huge ramifications. We'll know who's top of the Brazil group, and whoever comes second out of the Japan, Netherlands, they will play Brazil. So huge ramifications on midnight on Thursday. Friday, 3 a.m., Paraguay, Australia, Turkey, United States. We're not going to do that because United States are already top. And Turkey are already going home, so it's Paraguay. The only reason you'd stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning is to see if Australia or Paraguay are going to get second, and I ain't fucking doing that. Friday night, is it Friday night? Yeah, Friday night, we've got Norway, France, Senegal, Iraq. We will be live for that. Saturday, 1 a.m., Uruguay, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia. That's early hours of Friday morning. I might do it. It depends. I might do it. I don't know. I'll think about that one. It's a late one for what cause. Egypt, Iran, New Zealand, Belgium, 4 a.m. Saturday morning. Forget it. Crap group that. No way. And then it's a bit of a weird one on Saturday, actually, because there's no early game. England, Panama, and Croatia, Ghana, 10 p.m. Saturday night is the first game on that evening. We're definitely doing that. And then straight after that, Colombia, Portugal, and Congo, Uzbekistan, which is at midnight. We probably will do that because I think Colombia, Portugal could be quite important on who finishes top of the group. And then the final group games are Algeria, Austria, and Jordan, Argentina. Argentina are already top of that group, so I wouldn't be staying up till 3 a.m. for that. And then on Sunday, the last 32 starts. Really weird on Sunday. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. On Sunday, the last 32 round starts. There's only one game. There is one game on Sunday. And there's not even an early hours game. There is one game on Sunday. It's at 8 o'clock. That's it. There's no 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. There's one game on Sunday and it's at 8 o'clock. And that's it. On Monday, we've got a 6 o'clock last 32 game. We've got a 9:30 last 32 game, which Germany are playing in. That's already confirmed. And then we've got a 2 a.m. last 32 game. And we'll be doing all of these because they're knockout games. So Monday, 6 o'clock, 9:30 and 2 a.m. Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, knockout game. 10 o'clock, knockout game. And then 2 a.m. Mexico, knockout game. Wednesday, a week tomorrow, 5 o'clock, knockout game. 9 o'clock, knockout game. And then the USA play their knockout game at 1 a.m. Thursday, the 2nd of July, 8 o'clock, knockout game. Midnight, knockout game. And then wait for it, 4 a.m. There's a 4 a.m. knockout game. And now I've had enough. Okay, I'm coming back to the chat. Don't worry about that. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube. We just had another 40 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you very much for that, having me said that. Thanks for your follows, Jason and Edward and Len and Samir. Really great. A lot of people, sorry, very rude of me here. A lot of people are saying what's happened to the game. I assumed you'd been with us. What's happened with the game is it's raining. And it's raining men. Hallelujah. No, it's not raining men. It's raining water. So we have a slight delay here at the moment. It's been delayed because of the weather. It's sweeping across the ground, and I don't know whether anyone else has got any other update, but my last update is there's no sign of it easing off at the moment. It's not the rain that's the problem, it's the thunder. It's not the rain. So basically, every time the lightning strikes, they have to reset the clock for half an hour. You can't play for half an hour after the last bit of lightning. So that's where we are at the moment. The stadium is pretty much empty. And obviously the players will have to come out and warm up again as well. So the latest is it's delayed, but I haven't got any update on the time. Somebody said something about half an hour, but I don't know. But we do have to be mindful that the 1 a.m. game also has potential rain delay as well, which is problematic because we don't want to be in a situation where that... Can you get the guitar out? It's not. I don't think it's in tune. That sounds really out of tune. Wrong chord. It's a bit out of tune. It's like an episode of The Office, this, isn't it? I think it's a bit out of tune, to be honest. I'll tell you what, I'll get the electric out and we'll do a bit of AC/DC. Right, that was for Daniel Sturtridge because he did do a £2 super chat. What match broadcasters will play if simultaneous, says Fraser? Well, BBC have got France-Iraq and ITV have got Norway, Senegal, so they'll be on 2 separate channels. What song was that? She's all dressed up in a broken heart. Well, I'm gonna... Script, yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing that for chat. Someone's just asked me to do something for the super chat. I'm not doing. Who wins their first World Cup first, Africa or Asia? Says Zuba. Well, what if neither of them win their first World Cup? Chunk says, I mean, look, if I had to guess, sorry, I've got there's a poll going on here. Should the keeper save that? So that's the Mbappe shot. 67% of you say 67% of you say yes, and 33% of you say no. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the keeper should have saved it. We disagree with Joe Hart. Which minute was the match interrupted? They did get to half time, so they'll just come out for the second half. Chunk says Argentina bang average, Austria equals gutless. I mean, personally, I think that it's too early to judge any team, because at this point we'd be saying England look like the best team in the tournament, and as an English person, I know that's the most stupid thing in the world to say. So I wouldn't really be judging anybody until round of 16. I think when you've played your group games and you've played a knockout game, that's when I would look at them. And I think Argentina look very good because they're scoring goals. Messi is arguably the best player in the tournament, and their defence is very strong. So I think Argentina look good. I think the Netherlands look good. I think Germany look interesting. I don't think Brazil are going to do particularly well, but I said that before the tournament. And I also think that Morocco, Ivory Coast, Japan, you know, there's a few less obvious teams that could be quite interesting as well. But the sad thing is, we will lose teams earlier than they should go out just because of the draw. Like I say, you know, the Netherlands group and Brazil's group means that Morocco, Netherlands, Brazil, and Japan, 2 of them are gone before the round of 16. That's ridiculous. But that's just the way the draw works. And then there'll be some bag of shit who ends up in the last 16 because of the way the draw works. So, who wins, Norway or Senegal, says Joe? Well, I don't know. That's why I want to watch it. I think it's a fascinating game because we don't know. We don't know. Like, are Senegal better than Norway, or Norway capable of putting Senegal to the sword? I have no preference, really. Pele still the GOAT, says Citizen King. Still top 10 in World Cup goals. What the fuck would happen if a game needs cancelling because of weather? Can't reschedule it. Is it just called a 0-0 draw, says Ray. I'm sure they must be... can you play Wonderwall? I'll tune it up and I'll do it another time. I can't remember. I haven't played Wonderwall properly for ages. I can't remember the chord change after the first course. Everton ban extended after that comment, says Mez. Yeah, Ray, I'm sure there is a contingency plan if it pissed it down with thunder all day. They probably just award a draw, don't they? Weather-related football names: Hurricane. I think you've just owned it, Braden. I think that's it. Are United not signing Diamonde because the Ronaldo kit was fake? Glazers are all about finances, says David. No, we're not signing Diamonde because we're poor. Poor at negotiating. Jack says, when do you think Man United will next put a bid for a midfielder? Oh, I'm not doing United, Jack. Depressing. Can't be doing it. We'll get the updates when we get the updates. How was Garnacho for Argentina today? Says Mitish. I mean, look, again, a very niche thing. But it's raining in New Jersey, says Cott. I've got no updates on that, and I don't even know where to look at updates for that. However, on Garnacho, I know he's a Chelsea player now, but I think there's a warning sign there to any professional footballer, is that you've never made it. Garnacho used to be in Argentina. Garnacho used to be regularly in Argentina squads and was considered, you know, a future star of Man United. He's now a bench player for Chelsea, watching the World Cup at home. And that's it. I've got nothing more to say. He was in the Argentinian squad regularly, and he was starting for Man United as a future star. He's now on the bench for Chelsea, watching the World Cup from home. And that's how things can go. You know? Time has stopped, Mark, by the way. I know. Game's gone, says Harry. Are you impressed with Iraq the last 2 games or no, says Sahab? I think they've done all right in this game. People are starting to come back out, and it's looking brighter in Philadelphia. So it's looking good, Brev. Yeah, it's not raining now. We will see. Apparently, thunderstorms last till 6:45. I've done that one, haven't I? I'm just catching up on the super chats. Don't want to check that. Match not resumed yet. No. Joshua, thanks for the follow. The game is suspended because of thunderstorms. This is the first time it's happened in the World Cup, but it happened in the Club World Cup last year. Basically, it's a region that, well, I think the whole of the United States and the world, in fact, can get thunderstorms, but it was something that we all knew was highly likely to happen in this World Cup and will probably happen again. Essentially, I'll tell you what, I haven't highlights Uruguay Cape Verde's on it. I want to, if you've got the BBC on at the moment and you're watching it, obviously if you're watching in different areas of the world, you'll be getting different coverage. But talking about goalkeeping errors, no, they're not going to show it yet. When the Cape Verde one goes on. But anyway, if there's thunder, the game gets suspended and it can't start again until half an hour after the last thunder strike. So, not the same in the UK though, is it? Although we don't really get a lot of thunder. Do we have this policy in the Premier League? Howard Webb? Can we go live to Howard Webb? No, we can't. He's on holiday with the rest of the lads. Not watching the World Cup because they don't agree with the refereeing. It's not the thunder, Mark, it's the lightning. I know, but in the UK, when we say thunder, we don't say thunder and lightning. We just mean thunder. And we know that thunder is lightning, so we just call it thunder. We don't clarify the lightning bit. We just call it thunder here. We don't do thunder and lightning. We do. As Europeans, we work in efficiency, so we call it thunder. We know the lightning's part of it. People keep pulling me up on it though. We call it thunder in the UK, and we mean we know that as part of thunder it goes, and then there's lightning as well. But we don't call it. We don't go, oh, there's thunder. Oh, there's lightning. We just call it thunder. And I think other people are struggling with that because they're going, it's not. It's the lightning. There's that free kick. What a shit wall by Uruguay. I'd be fucking fuming. Did you see that free kick from Cape Verde? People were saying, what a free kick. I thought I mean, he hits it well, but it's not what a free kick. It's what a shit wall. The wall is absolutely shit. And people were saying, what a worldie of a free kick. And I was like, mate, it doesn't even get to the penalty box if the wall stands still. What match broadcaster's done that? Thank you. Yeah, so Cape Verde went 1-0 up. I think they went 2-0 up, didn't they? Let's have a look. No, they're just showing extended highlights. You guys use Celsius but measure distance in miles. Oh, Bernardo. We weigh people in stone and kilograms. We measure things in kilometers and miles. What else do we do things twice for? Yeah. We have words that mean multiple things, and we spell them the same. It's efficiency, basically. Eru says, let's all be honest here. This is total embarrassment. Bobby, I'll go back and find them for you. Sorry. It's not embarrassment. It's the weather. We can't do anything about it. What do Liverpool need to do this summer beyond Diamonde, says Man. I mean, I don't really want to talk about individual clubs because I said I don't want to talk about United. But I would say that Liverpool do need a couple of wingers. I think you probably need another midfielder as well. But certainly, yeah, I think you need a winger. Romano's updates are just about Alvarez, Matthew. He says, read the update from Fabrizio Romano. The only thing he's posted is about Alvarez. Cape Verde to top their group, thoughts, says Jack. Could happen, but I think it will be Spain. Hasnan says, what happens if there's a thunderstorm in the final, Mark? Well, if it It's funny you should say that, Has, because if the thunderstorm hits in the World Cup final, even if the thunder and lightning is hitting the pitch, they play on because it's the final. Of course they fucking don't. They suspend it again, mate. They're not going to go, oh, thunder's hitting the crowd. Lightning's hitting the crowd, sorry. Play on, it's the final. It's the same thing. Which team that plays man-to-man defence would give Argentina the toughest game? Would love to see you come to the USA for the World Cups as Stray. Which team that plays man-to-man defence would give Argentina the toughest game? Argentina won't. Argentina will get a tough game when they play somebody that can attack, basically. Nish, thanks for the follow. Which team? So, yeah, I think Argentina will get a real game when they play against someone like England or Brazil or France or Morocco. Somebody that's going to attack them, basically. I like Austria and I like Ralf Rangnick. And they do play a really good style of football, but they're just so toothless up front. They just don't have the depth. They don't have... I mean, Austria, you can say a Haaland. To be honest, Austria with a Balogun, you know, they just don't have the right type of profile up front. And they don't have that type of player anywhere in Austria. They just need an half-decent striker. Beans on toast, Marmite on toast, or cheese on toast? Definitely beans for the win, Han. Cheese on toast second, Marmite third. Noah says, apple crumble with Megan Fox or chat with Rio. Well, I can't really do either, if I'm being honest. How much do you reckon it's going to cost to complete the sticker book? I'm in £100 so far and only completed a third of it. Also, you missed my last super chat, says Bobby. Well, I've done one now. We bought the sticker book. We started doing it. And then I said to Seb, we should stop doing it because I did the World Cup 2014 book and I completed it and it cost me about 200 quid. There's another 16 teams in this. It's a huge investment, and for what? Will it ever be worth anything? I'm at the match, Goldie. Weather's clearing up, says Maroon. Oh, thank you. This is modern technology. Thanks for the update there. Zahar says, rank your favourite MJ songs. Earth Song's my favourite. Is that one where he goes, whoa, whoa, ooh, ooh. It's not really singing, is it? It's treading on a nail. I used to like Heal the World, but I actually think it's a load of shit now. 421234 says, it's hurricane season and the US is hosting games on pitches with no roof in exposed areas. Brilliant. Does that mean that if it's in a stadium with a roof, you can still play? Even with thunder, or not? I don't know the answer to that. Bobby Archer, I'm just trying to find this super chat that you did. There it is. Mark, all the family are away on holiday this week, so your watch-alongs will make for good company. What early morning matches are on your schedule? This week, I'll have to remind myself now. Obviously, Senegal-Norway at 1 a.m. today now. No, it's still tomorrow now. It's 10 to midnight. So we're doing Norway-Senegal at 1 a.m. And I don't think we've got many this week. Oh, midnight on Thursday. Is it Thursday or Friday? Midnight on Thursday. Yeah, midnight on Thursday we're doing the Japan group. Yeah. Tomorrow night I'm just doing England till 11 and then that's it. And then Wednesday. Oh no, Scotland Brazil on Wednesday goes on till 1 a.m. as well. So Wednesday, Thursday are the next two times we'll be going past midnight. Yeah. Let me just get you the updates. There's Kelly Cates. Come on, Kelly, give us an update. Of course, if you're a cricket fan, you'd be well used to this. Well, 7 minutes ago, the next update will come in the next 10 minutes. Any talk of now starting at 7 p.m. I would suggest is going to be unlikely because you have to get the supporters back to their seats and you also have to factor in the players having another 15 minutes to warm up again. The game will resume when safe and the match remains suspended. And it looks dark again now, although in the distance, I think that's Stoke. No, it's not. It is brightening up, but lovely stadium though. Well, the BBC have obviously given up because they've gone to a Glastonbury advert. What time does ITV start? 12:15. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Liam. Bloody hell, we've had you know, on TikTok we've had 750 followers for France Iraq. Crazy. Ethan says 12:15, which would be perfect in a way because that would take us perfectly up to 1 a.m. So that would actually work out quite well. So let's wait and see whether that plays out or not. Do you find it hard staying up like this? Are we talking about the football or no? No, not really. I mean, I've done 24-hour. No, I haven't done 12-hour. I haven't done 24-hour ones for a while. But we do a charity stream every November for the Marie Curie charity, which is for people with terminal and serious illness. It's like a hospice charity that provides support and, you know, end of life care for people with you know, terminal illness, and provides like counselling and support for their family members, and so we do that every November, and that normally starts at about 11 in the morning and goes on till the early hours. So I'm more than used to sitting chatting with you good people. And, you know, obviously that comes... And also, we do the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not comparing charity work for people with terminal illness with doing a Super Bowl stream, but what I'm talking about is the ability to go late into the morning. And I love doing the Super Bowl. And that starts at 11 p.m. and we're normally going till about 4 a.m., aren't we? So I like it. You know, I wouldn't say I like it, but I'm well used to it. I used to work nights anyway. Respect to everybody who works nights as well. It's quite... I've just realised I'm thrusting my hips in front of a camera here, but this is actually medical back exercises with people with lower back. Although it is lower black because it's my lower black t-shirt that I'm rubbing. But I meant lower back. Yeah, I always found when I used to do nights, like it's hard, but it's also quite... I don't want to call it magical, but there's something about in the early hours of the morning, knowing that most of the world's asleep on your side of the world. Yeah. Will we be getting GTA 6 story mode, Mark, says Harry? I mean, I'm going to play GTA 6 story mode, whether I'll stream it or not. I would like to, but I think most of the world's going to do it, isn't it? So who's going to watch it? But I did enjoy doing that, but as I said about the career mode with the TUSFC, whether you can recreate something or not, I don't know. They've actually gone off air on the BBC. They've gone to the news. That is bloody lazy, that is. I can't believe how lazy that is. That is lazy. I mean, come on, that's fucking lazy, that is. You're meant to be on air anyway. And the game's still going to happen, and they've gone off air. It's supposed to restart at 12. Well, it won't do that because the players have got to come back out onto the pitch and they'll have to warm up for 15 minutes. I'm just looking for updates for you now. There was one about 5 minutes ago. At this time, severe weather remains in the area and the match continues to be suspended. A FIFA spokesman says the match will resume when it is safe to do so. I mean, it's no update then, is it? They've certainly not put a time on it yet. That's for sure. Do you think we'll get a lot of this, Mark? You're asking the wrong person. I mean, I hope we're not. Yeah, I hope we're not. I would not be happy doing this for 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 9 more games. But I don't know. I don't know what the weather. I don't know how likely it's to happen. I mean, it's the first one we've had, and we're into basically the end of, nearly 2 weeks in, and yeah. Gerbil says, will you stay with this game? We'll start Norway at 1 o'clock. I mean, I don't know what to do. I actually don't know what to do. I don't know whether to set a stream up for Norway or just change the title. I don't really know. I don't really know. The Norway-Senegal game is one I want to do, but I've got a bad feeling that might get hit by weather as well. How many donuts can you fit on it, Mark? Oh, God. Why do I... This is the trouble this time at night. You sometimes aren't as sharp-witted. Brand says, Michael Jackson is very overrated. Go listen to Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue. I'm a massive fan of Guns N' Roses already, Brand. You're speaking my language there. Here in the States, we can have lightning without thunder. It's called heat lightning, so that's why we differentiate between the two. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm educated. By you. I wish I had lower... James, I can't read that. I can't. I'm glad I read it before I read it. Ryan says, go to bed, Mark. Watch the highlights in the morning. The game's never restarting. Well, that might be an option for us, but ultimately I was doing the 1 a.m. game anyway, so let's just remain positive for now. It's all an experience, this World Cup. Best part about night shifts is being able to keep up with the World Cup on breaks and quiet times. I do like the peace and early hours, like at 5 a.m. in the summer, says Velks. Yeah, I've got. I'm having done it myself. I think it's. I have a huge respect for people who work night shifts, especially. Well, not especially, but I have a huge respect for people who work night shifts. But obviously, certain occupations you have to. I'm starting to tell you what, you can tell it's hot. I'm starting to feel the heat off one of my... I can just feel heat coming off something. Is it the TV? The light? Camera's not too hot. There's heat coming from something. I just feel a bit of a heat draft. I tell you what, they do say that if you want to try and keep your rooms cooler in a heat wave, turn as many electric devices off as you can. The game got suspended because of heat. No, because of weather. Because of lightning. I'm going to call it lightning now. It got suspended because of lightning. Lukic and BN, thanks for your follows. Appreciate you. Update is that it's going to start again in 20 minutes. Now, I don't know whether that's confirmed, but a couple of people have said it in the live chat. I've had another super chat coming in here. Thank you very much from Mish. He says, if we all go and watch the Senegal-Norway game, Mbappe will score 5 goals. But if a tree fell in the woods and no one was there to witness it, did it really happen? Jacob says the Fox in USA are just replaying USA Australia. I think this is what, to be honest, I think things like this is what separates the wheat from the chaff. The ability, if I was on BBC or ITV or Fox, we wouldn't need to go to USA Australia. I could literally talk to the panel for 2 hours and come up with stuff to talk about. Here in the state, I've done that one. Thank you very much. Thomas, thanks for the follow as well. When do you think it'll be back? Well, somebody's just gone to bed saying it won't be back at all. I think it will be back. I'm going from the UK and calling it lightning. Yeah, I think the big takeaway that people need to think about with this tournament, and even I'm not in a position to figure it out yet, is that you can't just say Japan are going to hit the semi-finals. You can't just say Germany are going to get to the semi-finals, because you need to know the path. And as I said, Japan and Netherlands play Brazil and Morocco in the round of 32. So we're going to lose 2 of them, because the top of that group plays the second of that group, and the top of that group plays the second of that group. So I don't like that, but that's just the way it's going to be. Whereas some groups, like England, we're going to play a 3rd place bag of shit. So we're going to lose some good teams early just because of the way the draw works. Ineos are at Norway, Senegal, cheering Champers, says Caitlin. Irish TV panel doing a long review of the half, to be honest. How can you do a long review of that half? I mean, there are certain games of football where you can't do a long review of the half, and that's one of them. Yeah, that's hard, that is. It's starting at 7 a.m, says Charlie. 7 a.m. UK time. No, that's a joke in the chat. That can't be true. Well, no one's saying it here. Yeah. No, yeah, that's a load of bollocks. 7 a.m. would be in 7 hours. There's no way that's happening at all. Don't fall for that. You're an idiot if you did. What's this? 7 a.m. All we're getting is match will resume when it's safe to do so. Remember, this game is only 2 hours down the road in a car from the New York game as well, so they're both going to be pretty much hit by the same. Yeah, we're not falling for your 7 a.m. shit. It's not even, like, 7 a.m. doesn't make any bloody mistake. 7 a.m. would be 1 a.m. in Philadelphia. They're not going to play a game at 1 a.m., are they? 7 a.m. is a bad joke because it doesn't even bloody work. Because the time in Philadelphia is 7 p.m. So they're not going to put it off, are they? They're not going to do that. It's a joke in the chat. That's what it is. 25. Yeah, okay. Australia said they'd be out in 20 minutes, says Sam. There we go. Yeah, I think it'll be in the next half an hour or so. To the guy in the chat that said Guns N' Roses only have one good album, how can they only have one good album when they have hits from different albums? Well, you've upset Brand now, whoever said that. Wesley says, I don't know about donuts, but I can do one party ring. We've got the starting lineups for the... This is perfectly timed. Thank you to our producer, Matt. The starting lineups are out for Norway and Senegal, so we can discuss those for a moment. So Norway line up with Nyland, Ryerson, Ajar, Hegem, Wolf, Odegaard, Berg and Orsnus, Sorloth, Haaland and Nusa. I don't agree with Sorloth starting, by the way. I've got to say, I don't think Sorloth as a striker on the wing really works. I personally would start Bob or Scheider up, but that's the team. For Senegal, Mendy in goal, Diatta, Koulibaly, Galadou Koulibaly, pockets Firmino and Mane, Niakate, Diouf of West Ham, Idrissa Gueye, Papa Gueye, Kamara, Sarr, Mane, Jackson. Enjoy on the bench again. It was a bit of a shame. But interesting game, I think that will be. Senegal need the win, a Norway win, and they could finish top of the group if they get a result against France. Yeah. I've done that one from Caitlin, sorry. Owen, Caitlin wants to do a foot massage. Start bench cell, parachutes, a rush of blood to the head, or Viva la Vida. I genuinely thought, Brian, you were talking about parachutes, the actual parachute. Parachutes will always be my favourite because I was on Coldplay before most people because I read about them in Melody Maker when they were just doing gigs, and I got their album. And I remember telling my mate who was quite into music, listen to this. And he was like, that's a good album. Who is it? I said, it says it on the album. So I got into Coldplay quite early. And Parachutes was the album that I got into. Really, I like that album as well. Thanks for the content. Better than Kelly and Giroud. Well, they're not even on, Gene. They want a new Lineker. It's me without the politics. And with better banter and comment and jokes and you know, not unwilling to swear if needed. Australia, they said about 20 minutes. I've done that. I read that one. Start bench cell, Van der Sar, De Gea or Casillas, says Zahar. That's hard. That is hard, because every time I think I'm going to say something, I'm like, I think I'd bench De Gea, start Van der Sar, and sell Casillas. I think that's what I'd do. People are getting angry saying start the game. Has there been any updates, Mark? You know what? Sometimes the best place to get updates is X. Ooh, update from... Update on Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. There is no amount of money for which Barca can buy Julian Alvarez. He will not be transferred to Barcelona. Either they pay the release clause of 500 million euros, or there is no deal. So basically, Atletico Madrid have said, fuck off. Yeah. Apparently, midnight UK time is when it's coming back. But somebody just said they heard it's on at 2. David says match has been postponed. It won't be bloody postponed. I can see the sun in the distance. I've got the bloody stream on. If you go on to iPlay, they've got a camera in the stadium. Oh, all that I know. There's nothing here to run from. I see you've got me singing Parachutes now. I tell you what, I tell you what, just to digress a moment. I didn't do the 10 o'clock show this morning on the United Stand because I forgot I had to go to the dentist. That hurt. So Beth did the 10 a.m. I did the 2 p.m. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it in the garden. The live stream, not anything else. It was quite nice to do something a little bit different. Who scored for France? Mbappe. Mbappe scored for France. Yeah. It's not been postponed. Sorry, somebody just said check something. It's been postponed. Did you like Savage Garden? Says Ross Kemp. Not really. Could see some pulled muscles for players now, says Brian Gallagher. Thank you very much. Start, bench, sell, Heat, Usual Suspects, Pulp Fiction. You see, when there's a good super chat, I'm in. Start Heat, bench Pulp Fiction, sell Usual Suspects. I do like Usual Suspects, but Heat's a classic, and Pulp Fiction's a bloody good film as well. Summer films as well, Pulp Fiction and Heat. Mark, Mourinho, Arteta, Pep, Kiss, Marry, Avoid. I don't do KMA. Wales, Ireland and Scotland, start, bench, sell. Well, I'll always start Ireland because my loyalty is with Ireland. I lived there for 3.5 years, so Ireland starts. Probably bench Scotland, settle Wales, prestige mines. Godzilla says, big UFC card next month with McGregor has come back. Would you be open to doing a watch along? Listening to you and Joe Rogan's voice would really get the juices flowing. Probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't really know what it was on about. Start, bench, sell, Oasis, Stone Roses, U2. That's a horrible question to ask because Stone Roses have the affiliation with Man United. But honestly, on a purely musical thing, taking football out of it, what those bands mean to me, quite a lot. But I would go and sell Stone Roses and bench U2 and start Oasis. That's musical. That's nothing to do with football rivalry or anything like that. That's just my life. Oasis have had a huge impact on it. U2, I love a lot of their music. And I do love the Stone Roses, but out of those three bands, I'd put them third. Sorry. Alan says, worst World Cup. Everyone talks about best World Cup. What's your worst World Cup? I love the World Cup, so I don't think there's ever been a World Cup where I'd go, that was shit. As I said, South Africa, I don't have fond memories of it because England fucked it up. 2006, Germany, I actually quite liked that World Cup. I remember the background the BBC had of the, I can't remember what they call it, you know, but it was amazing. 2002, I liked that World Cup. 98, 94 and 90, really liked them. 2002, yeah. 2006, I liked it. 2010, didn't like it because of England. 2014, really liked it. 2018 in Russia. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was horrible. It was okay. Qatar, didn't mind it apart from the fact that it was in at Christmas. I think I'd have to say South Africa. And a lot of people love South Africa, the World Cup. But for me, it was one World Cup where I just didn't watch much of the other games because of England. They pissed me off. So blame Capello. Fabrizio cooked Luke Edwards, says Harry. In what way? When? Now? Okay. So Fabrizio Romano was basically posting out hints about Alvarez going to, going. Atletico Madrid came out and said, absolutely not selling him to Barcelona. So Luke Edwards, who is a Northern football writer for the Daily Telegraph, said, this is the blueprint. Help start the fire by excitedly reporting the interest. Add kindling to ensure it keeps burning by constantly tweeting the same thing with the words changed or moved into a different order. Watch the fire spread. Wait for the player to say he wants to move and then declare it's up to the clubs to agree a fee. His current club didn't want to sell, but now the conditions for the buying club to succeed have been stoked and the wind is in their favour. Job done, and it will be repeated. So a bit of a dig at Romano. And Romano came back with, where did I lie? I said Julian wants to go, as he just confirmed. I said Barca want him, and it's up to Atletico, and that's the case. Lies, 0. You did 500 tweets saying Isak was going to stay. Or Trafford going, Newcastle same day when City, think about yourself, then you talk about me. Okay. Look, as I've said before, in the journalistic world, I like Fabrizio. We had him on the United stand when he was nowhere near as big as he is now. We, on the United stand, became aware of Romano when he was very small. And we've seen the journey. He's somebody who tweets ads. You know, he gets paid loads of money. He's the top of what he does. And I can't not respect that. But I think in the journalistic world, they can't bloody stand him, if I'm being honest. I think he probably pisses off the people who had to go to university and make the coffee. And I think there's a lot of people who resent the way he does what he does, because it's not what they think journalism is. But I don't think journalism exists anyway. I think most football journalists are client journalists. I think they have people at the club and they tell them to do something and they put it out there. Journalism for me would be, digging into clubs and finding out why Man United are, digging into the finances, why Man United won't buy players and they used to buy players. I think journalism doesn't really exist anyway, and I think Fabrizio Romano, whether people like it or not, is an example of a new way of doing things. Much the same as what we're doing here is an example of new. This is why you get digs from the mainstream about what we do, because they're like, well, this isn't what we used to do. What's this new thing, And I'm not saying I like everything Romano does, but it didn't exist 10 years ago. Trim says, what do you make of left? Don't know. Don't know who that is, Trim. Sorry, can't read that. Have you ever seen A Bronx Tale? I feel like I have, yes. PS says, start, bench, sell, Rooney, Kane, Shearer. Always Rooney. Definitely the most talented, natural English footballer I've seen since Gascoigne. Always Rooney. So I'll start Rooney. Kane and Shearer, look, I do respect Shearer. Good player, but Kane's better. If you'd asked me this 4 years ago, I'd have said Shearer. But now, Kane's better than Shearer. So I'd go start Rooney, bench Kane, sell Shearer. And Shearer's very good. He's the all-time Premier League top goal scorer. But yeah, that's mine. Have we had any update yet? I'm checking now. Actually, I've just realised I'm refreshing the Norway-Senegal team. That's never going to give it. It's still raining as of 1 minute ago. Clouds are still there. Raining again heavily and storm remains in the area. That was literally 5 minutes ago. And the next update is at half-past. So, yeah, we've still got another... bloody hell. It's mad when you think that half-time was an hour and 20 minutes ago. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Norway game, and I do need the toilet, so I'm going to set up the Norway game, and then I'm going to go and get myself a drink, and I suppose that's probably the best thing to do. Otherwise, I'm just going to be... there's no way I'm going to be able to be sat here for 4 hours, so... let's do that. I think that's the best thing to do, isn't it? I actually thought it would be back on by now. But if you think about it, if the next update's in 10 minutes, and then they've got to come... even if in 10 minutes they say they're coming on now, 15 minutes of a warm-up, we're going to be watching Norway-Senegal before this anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying. Norway, Senegal. Let's get this set up because I should have done it ages ago. Also, I'm getting sore throat. Senegal. Thanks everyone who's given us a follow, by the way, because we've had over 1,000 followers on this stream on TikTok, which is incredible. I don't know how many new subscribers we've had on YouTube, but please do subscribe. You've been fantastic helping me out over the last hour and a half, especially when there's no football. Senegal need to bounce back. I mean, it couldn't have happened in a worse game, really, as well. France-Iraq was always going to be a France win, wasn't it? It's not the sort of game that you want to even be waiting for, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to get myself a hot drink. And quick toilet break. And then we'll be ready to go. Let me just make sure I've covered off all the... super chats. It's my 23rd birthday, Mark. Can I get a happy birthday? Says Obtuse TV. Of course you do. Of course you can. Happy birthday, mate. They thought I was going to stand up and take my top off for you then. I was just stretching my back. Do you think Jesus watches the World Cup, says James? Okay, it's post-midnight. Thoughts, idea that FIFA look out for Messi and Argentina. I don't believe it, but I did think there was a couple of things going on today where I thought there's a bit of favouritism going on, but that could just be big club favouritism as well. Citizen King. Spice the live up, bribe Mrs. G with a Chanel handbag, and she can do the watch along with you. Are you excited about Hull for the first game of the season, says Katie Talks Rovers. I'm not really. I'm looking forward to the Premier League, but I'm enjoying the World Cup. You know, I think it's nice escapism, yeah? Great journalism as Pablo Torre finds out. He investigates circumvention on NBA. Appreciate the social aspect you bring to these streams, says Rob. Thank you very much. Top 3 cult heroes doesn't have to be sport. I'd have to think, Niki. Let me think about that for the next game. Tiger Valley says South African World Cup is what got me into the world of football. My Italian 90 have found nostalgia for it, especially since it was in my country, says Tiger Valley. Seen any geese lately, says Rob. Start bench sell, Ned Stark, Jamie Lannister, Cersei Lannister. Cersei Lannister can do one. Probably the worst character in it. Jamie Lannister had a redemption arc. He can sit on the bench. Ned Stark, brilliant character, starts. I've never been to a World Cup game, no. No, and I would like to go to one. Well, I can go to one. But obviously it won't be happening this World Cup. France versus Iraq will resume in 28 minutes. That's very precise. 28 minutes according to Madrid Extra, and that was posted at 12:22. So they're looking to get it going at 10 to midnight. As per that. There you go. Right. In that case, I'm going to get a quick 20-minute break, toilet break, etc. And then I'm going to come back. Rest my throat a little bit. 10,000 watching. We will be live again in about 20 minutes back on YouTube and on TikTok. So grab a drink. We're back at about 10 to 1. Yeah, we'll be back at 10 to 1. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Take care.